Stop everything. Because just when you thought this divorce drama was finally cooling off, boom, the courtroom doors swing open and guess who walks in? No, not a lawyer. Not a producer. Not even a witness on the list. Porsha Williams. At Kandi Burruss divorce hearing. Uninvited. Unannounced. And allegedly holding information that had the entire room doing a collective record scratch. Now ask yourself, why would Porsha Williams show up to a hearing that had nothing to do with her? Coincidence? Concern? Or calculated chaos? Because according to whispers flying faster than blog posts on a Sunday night, Porsha didn't just come to observe. Oh no. She came with what insiders are calling another bombshell, and not the cute, reality TV kind. We're talking career-shifting, image-wrecking. What did you just say in open court? Type T. And Todd Tucker? Sources say his face allegedly went through all 5 stages of grief in under 10 seconds. So what did Porsha know? Why no? And how did a simple divorce turn into a full-blown scandal circus with surprise guests and mystery receipts? Buckle up, because if even half of what's being whispered is true, this wasn't a hearing. It was an exposure event. The moment Porsha Williams stepped into that courtroom, everything shifted. Not metaphorically. Literally. Heads turned. Pens paused mid-sentence. And according to multiple insiders, even the judge reportedly looked up like, was she on the docket? She wasn't. This was supposed to be a clean, controlled divorce hearing. No theatrics. No surprise witnesses. Just paperwork, signatures, and a quiet exit. Kandi Burruss had arrived prepared, composed, and laser-focused on closing a chapter she'd already emotionally left behind. Todd Tucker sat across the aisle, stiff, quiet, visibly uncomfortable, but still wearing that familiar "I got this" face he's mastered over the years. And then, click, clack, click. That sound? Porsha's heels, echoing through a hallway that suddenly felt way too small for the secret she was allegedly carrying. Now here's where things get interesting. Sources claim Porsha didn't rush in. She didn't argue with security. She didn't cause a scene. She waited. Calm. Patient. Almost confident. Like someone who knew the room would eventually have to pay attention to her. And when she finally spoke, it wasn't loud. It wasn't emotional. It was surgical. Multiple courtroom sources allege she requested to submit information relevant to the financial disclosures in this case. Translation? She wasn't there for drama. She was there for receipts. At first, Todd's legal team reportedly objected. Hard. Said she wasn't a party to the divorce. Said this was inappropriate. Said this was a stunt. But then, according to whispers that immediately started circulating, one word changed everything. LLC. That's when Kandi's attorney allegedly leaned forward. That's when the judge reportedly paused. And that's when Todd's body language changed from confident to cornered in a matter of seconds. Because what Porsha was allegedly pointing to wasn't gossip. It wasn't relationship mess. It was money. Insiders claim documents were a reference showing long-term financial activity tied to an entity that had never been disclosed in marital filings. Monthly payments. Consistent amounts. Categorized vaguely. Just clean enough to avoid attention. Just messy enough to raise red flags. And then came the line that allegedly sucked the air out of the room. A child. Not hers. Not Kandi's. Another one. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's be clear, nothing was officially ruled in that moment. But according to multiple people present, the implication alone was enough to change the temperature of the entire hearing. Because if even a fraction of that information holds weight, this divorce isn't just about separation anymore. It's about concealment. And suddenly, Todd Tucker's carefully curated image, the supportive husband, the behind-the-scenes builder, the steady partner, started looking less like a brand and more like a performance. Public reaction was instant. Within minutes, phones were buzzing. Texts flying. Did you hear? She showed up. Why is Porsha there? This is about money. Blogs didn't have details yet, but they didn't need them. The headline wrote itself. Unexpected appearance. Mysterious evidence. Divorce derailed. And Kandi? According to sources close to her, she didn't react the way people expected. No outburst. No shock. No tears. Just a long pause. A breath. And then a look that insiders described as confirmation. As if something she'd suspected privately had just walked into the room and introduced itself out loud. By the time the court called for a brief recess, one thing was clear. Whatever this hearing was supposed to be, it wasn't that anymore. Because when a divorce starts raising questions about hidden money, undisclosed obligations, and carefully buried truths, it stops being personal. It becomes dangerous. And the real fallout? It hadn't even started yet. When the courtroom reconvened, the energy was no longer neutral. It was hostile. Not loud, just heavy. The kind of silence where everyone knows something big is about to crack, but no one knows who it'll fall on first. According to insiders, the judge didn't start where he left off. He went straight to finances. That alone spoke volumes. Because when divorce hearings pivot from emotions to spreadsheets, it's never accidental. It means something surfaced behind the scenes. Something that didn't match the story everyone had been told. And this is where Todd Tucker's situation allegedly started unraveling fast. Sources claim the court requested clarification on multiple financial entries tied to consulting fees, production services, and business expenses that, on paper, looked legitimate. But when stacked side by side, the pattern was impossible to ignore. Regular payments. Same amounts. Same timing. Different explanations. And that mysterious LLC? It kept popping up like a ghost in the machine. Anonymous insiders alleged the entity had been quietly active for years, moving money in ways that never appeared in joint disclosures. Not flashy. Not reckless. Just quiet enough to stay invisible until someone pointed a finger directly at it. And that someone apparently was Porsha. Now here's the twist no one saw coming. Multiple sources claim Porsha didn't just show up with concerns. She showed up with context, allegedly explaining how she became aware of the financial trail and why she believed it mattered now. Not for revenge, not for attention, but because, in her words, according to those present, the truth was being buried under paperwork. That statement alone reportedly caused Todd's legal team to request a pause. A pause they didn't get. Because at that moment, the narrative shifted again. The court allegedly raised questions about potential dependents not previously disclosed. And while no names were confirmed on record, the implication was loud enough that people in the gallery reportedly gasped. Phones came out. Texts were sent. And somewhere between that silence and the next breath, Todd's public image took another hit. Outside the courtroom, things were spiraling. Blogs started posting developing story banners with zero details. Comment sections exploded with speculation. Fans debated timelines. Old interviews resurfaced. Clips were dissected. People replayed moments that once felt harmless but now felt suspicious. And Kandi? Sources close to her say she didn't look surprised. In fact, one insider claimed she barely reacted at all, except to quietly whisper something to her attorney that immediately triggered a request for expanded financial review. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Immediately. That's when things went from messy to serious. Because an expanded review doesn't just look at what you spent. It looks at what you hid. And Todd's response? According to courtroom whispers, it wasn't denial. It was discomfort. The kind that shows when someone realizes the script they rehearsed doesn't match the questions being asked. By the time the judge adjourned for the day, nothing had been decided, but everything had changed. This divorce was no longer about who walked away first. It was about who knew what, who paid for what, and how long the truth had been kept quiet. And the scariest part? If what's being whispered is even half true, then this wasn't the biggest bombshell. It was just the one that finally went off in public. By the next morning, social media was ablaze. Allegedly leaked courtroom whispers, anonymous screenshots, and fan reconstructions of the hearing were circulating faster than any official statement could stop them. Todd Tucker? Silent. Radio silence. His PR team reportedly scrambling to patch together an explanation no one was buying. Inside the courthouse, Kandi Burruss reportedly walked in with a calm confidence that was almost intimidating. Sources say she had her legal team, her accountant, and a brand consultant all lined up, ready for anything. And apparently, she didn't waste time. According to insiders, she filed motions to immediately freeze all joint accounts, secure undisclosed assets, and expand the audit on Todd's companies. Meanwhile, Porsha Williams wasn't just sitting back. Allegedly, she provided more documents, detailed payment records, previously unseen contracts, and what one anonymous source called the smoking gun of concealed child support obligations. The courtroom reportedly went silent when the judge skimmed a single page. Eyebrows raised. Mouths agape. This was no longer a divorce, it was full-blown exposure season. Todd's reactions were reportedly chaotic. Witnesses say he paced the room, whispered into his lawyer's ear, and allegedly tried to claim that certain transactions were business-related or misunderstood, but apparently, the documents told a very different story. According to multiple sources, the judge reportedly interrupted him mid-sentence, saying, "Your explanations are insufficient, and the records speak louder than your words." And just when it seemed the hearing couldn't get any hotter, Porsha allegedly dropped an audio clip. Sources claim it captured Todd discussing undisclosed payments, hush money, and even strategizing how to keep financial secrets hidden from Kandi. People in the courtroom reportedly froze. Phones came out. Lawyers whispered. Fans outside live-streamed what they could hear. By the time the hearing concluded, court insiders claimed the fallout was immediate. Full business control handed to Kandi Burruss. Retroactive financial claims filed to recover undisclosed earnings. Expanded investigation into Todd Tucker's LLCs and hidden accounts. And outside the courthouse? Reportedly, cameras swarmed. Blog headlines screamed, "Todd Tucker exposed," Porsha Williams shakes divorce hearing, and Kandi Burruss takes back everything. Fans allegedly flooded Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok with memes, videos, and conspiracy theories. One viral clip allegedly showed Todd walking out with a blank stare while Kandi calmly exited with her team, captioned, "Silence is the new power move." By the end of the week, insiders say Todd had reportedly tried multiple damage control interviews, all of which allegedly backfired. Statements were edited, deleted, and re-recorded, but nothing could erase the documents, audio, and evidence now floating online. Meanwhile, Kandi reportedly celebrated quietly with her team, her public persona unshaken, as industry insiders allegedly began whispering about her potential new projects, spin-offs, and brand relaunches. If even half of what's allegedly being reported is true, this isn't just a divorce scandal. It's a blueprint for exposure, power, and revenge served cold. And with Porsha Williams allegedly emerging as the unexpected catalyst, the public is reportedly already calling this the courtroom showdown of the decade. So here's the question: who else knows the truth behind Todd Tucker's empire? How deep does the deception go? And will Kandi Burruss turn this moment into a multi-million-dollar comeback, or is this just the beginning of a much bigger story? So, what do you think? Was Porsha Williams just showing up for truth, or did she know exactly how to turn Todd Tucker's world upside down? And Kandi Burruss, was she playing chess the whole time, or did she finally get the confirmation she needed to take back her power? The real question is, how many more secrets are still buried behind closed doors? How many hidden accounts, hush money, or undisclosed obligations are waiting for the next explosive reveal? And let's be honest, if Todd thought he could control the narrative, he clearly underestimated the women involved. Big mistake. Huge. Now it's your turn. We want your hottest takes, your wildest theories, and your most savage memes. Drop them in the comments below. Who do you think was the real hero of this courtroom chaos? Was it Kandi's quiet power, Porsha's audacity, or maybe even someone we haven't heard from yet? And don't just sit there, hit that like button if you're here for all the receipts, all the drama, and all the jaw-dropping moments. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because trust me, this story isn't over. Not by a long shot. The next bombshell could drop any day, and you'll want to be the first to know when it does. Turn on your notification bell, too, because every new development, every leaked recording, and every viral court document is coming straight here. We break it first, we break it better, and yes, we're keeping it messy. Finally, share this video with your friends, your group chat, even your ex, because let's be real, This level of courtroom chaos, financial deception, and betrayal? It's not just TV. It's a masterclass in shocking, public, viral drama, and everyone deserves to see it unfold. So tell us, was Kandi the queen we all needed? Was Porsha the ultimate wildcard? And just how deep does Todd Tucker's secret life really go? Comment below, spill the tea, and buckle up because this story is far from over.